tactical genius, he's the one to see on VP4TV. He's wild and he's free. Nine ball top number here to you and me. With his cunning moves, he's rocking endlessly. Tables and cues, they bend to his will. Every shot he takes gives everyone a thrill. With a glance and aim, he works to the skill. In the ball, legend from the chill. Tables and cues, they bend to his will. Every shot he takes gives everyone a thrill. With a glance and aim, he works for the skill. In the ball, legend from the chill. Tactical genius with every play, making magic happen every single day. In the world of billiards, he knows the way, taking every shot with prayers we say. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. From the quarterback to the perfect cut, he wins the game without a single strut. Chalk it up, just for fortune or luck, but skill like his, it never gets stuck. On VP4TV, he's the showstopper. 9ball.com's the king, no one can top her. Watch him play and you'll be a hopper. He's the man we all shout proper. Tactical genius with every play, making magic happen every single day. In the world of billiards, he knows the way, taking every shot with prayers we say. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. To the perfect cut, he wins the game without a single strut. Chalk it up, just for fortune or luck, but skill like his, it never gets stuck. On VP4TV, he's the showstopper. 9ball.com's the king, no one can top her. Watch him play and you'll be a hopper. He's the man we all shout proper. ATG from Kilmarnock town, got your hustle down. Streams the pool games live, makes our day come alive. Early mornings on your grind, Tesco shift unwind, but you find the time to play, stream the virtual day. OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there. Virtual cue in your hand.
And it's a sucker scratch. Look at the line. Commentator's eye. Don't say I didn't warn you.
OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there. Virtual cue in your hand, amazing shots you land. From your home to our screens, living out our pool dreams. Early riser, work all done, streams the games just for fun. We'll cheer for you every match. TG, you've got the magic touch. OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there. OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there.
This for the 101. Absolutely sensational once again.
Virtual cue in your hand, amazing shots you land. From your home to our screens, living out our pool dreams. For fun, we'll cheer for you every match. TG, you've got the magic touch. OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there.
That was fantastic. No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.
Where's the cue ball going?
Oh dear, outside, never mind.
Good evening again, folks. Welcome back to VP4TV. It's a round 3 match we have tonight in the 2025 Virtual Cowboy World Championships. We've got Larry from the USA after his very good win against Matt in round 2, up against Misken from the United Kingdom, who also had a very good win in round 2, as we will hopefully see. We had, well, I say that Mr. Fox had to forfeit, but the one thing for certain is Misken did enough in that match to prove to me that he's well capable, knows what he's doing, and could be a tough obstacle for Larry. Larry's overcome one obstacle, but he won't be taking this guy lightly. If he saw any of that match, he needs to be wary of it. This match is the first one in the schedule that we have. This one was added most recently. The other two have been there for a little while. We've got Jose against Coldest Pillow, and that is tomorrow night at 5 p.m. I'll be there for that because that's the start of my days off. And then we have Stubb up against VP Monster on the one-loss side, and that will take place on Thursday at 6 p.m. So that's the schedule. It won't get much busier than that, I don't think, because we're running out of matches now, of course. But this is the one we're focusing on tonight. And the good news is Misken arrived about 6-7 minutes ago. Larry, of course, has been here. Or he was. Where is he? He's in getting a little bit of practice, locked away in his room, as is Misken. So the two of them are getting warmed up. And this room will be going up in probably 2 or 3 minutes from now. So we also have 9-ball Scotch doubles tonight, which I don't know whether, I think I heard there was 3 teams in it. Let's have a quick look. See what's happening here. Well, we've got 3 teams confirmed, but I don't know whether it will go ahead with 3 or whether... yeah, it will go ahead with 3, yeah. I think it does. I think the minimum team... the minimum is obviously 2 teams. So one team's going to get a bye to the final. So you've got Slim, who's partnered with Brainful out tonight, Romario with Z Karaoke, and Wink at Me with Vlad Loras, or whatever his name is. So they're all set, good to go. So that's going to be running while this match is on. And this tournament, this 9-ball Scotch doubles, will be all over and done with long before we are finished in the Cowboy match. Now, I managed to get my viewer count thing fixed. I went back to Streamlabs, and it seems to be working a bit more stable than that other one was. The other one wasn't even updating. I don't know what the hell was wrong with it, but anyway, we're good to go. We're just waiting on the room going up, and that will be going up very shortly. Now, I noticed yesterday that Steve appeared in the lobby, which suggested that he is back to civilization, where he is getting an internet connection, but from the look of it, it doesn't look as if he's home yet. He may well be travelling home. I don't know, because he's been nowhere to be seen in the lobby today, not at least when I've been online. Right. we will have the lag for the break. And it will be a race to 3 racks to see who gets through to round 4. Right, the room is up. We're heading in. Larry still to arrive. Misken's already in. And those other tournament rooms, the 9-ball Scottish doubles will be going up as well. Larry must be on a run in his practice room, or he would have jumped straight into the room. He's maybe on a scoring run at the moment, which is why he isn't overly keen to get in. At least that's what I'm thinking the excuse is. So here we go. Larry's arrived. Misken is on the right-hand side. Larry on the left. And this looks close. But Misken's won it. So he's going to get first shout here. I notice he's pretty much breaking from the first diamond. And that's got him a bit wide. Again, it's a tricky thin edge here. Too much angle for the force follow, so it's a thin edge. And now he's, I think, killed the 5-ball. That's awkward looking. This is a good chance to get that out of there. Three ball. Go up in its spot. 1 and 5-ball are handy for the follow-up carom. So he's just looking to see where he's going to stop this cue ball to leave him enough room to play the carom. Now he's out of line. He's a good pot. This is what can stall you on a decent run. And when you're playing the carom, you're not always guaranteeing you're going to have a... So this might be a second prize here. There we go. Let's check the replays working. Yeah, you'll take everything you can get. It's a little roll of the ball. Now the question is what can he make of it? Because remember, it doesn't matter about the fluke, it's what you make from it. And that's the end of that. He's missed a carom to the 5. The run is 13. And Larry can get the 5 back onto its spot. And let's see if Larry can hit that level of consistency needed to keep going in this tournament. Well, he could stop the cue ball where the one ball is and leave the carom. It means that it's the least movement of the cue ball. If he starts moving the cue ball, he can always get even more out of line, but this will do. And the problem now is that 5 ball is banked up the table, so now he needs to dig out a pot. Also, he's got to remember about the cue ball as well, because his next carom isn't 100% guaranteed. And he's sitting in the very dangerous shape here for the sucker scratch. This is what you don't want. But he's controlled the pace in that perfect. I mean, that was very well done. Because if you go slamming that, your odds are you're going to scratch. Well, again, in potting the one here should give him the choice of 2 shots. It just depending where he wants to leave the cue ball. If he comes over to the left, he might have the force follow from the 1 to the 5. He'll have the slightly wider shot going from the 5 to the 3, but he's gone out the middle of the table, so that's again all your eggs into one basket, but he's sitting in good shape. Again, he's got to play this very similar to what he played the last one. Doesn't want too much pace. And if he's going to hit this 1 ball, half ball fairly gently, the 1 ball, he would have potted the 1 ball if he didn't have quite as high an angle. He might still do it though, but because he's got a high angle in the 1, the cue ball wants to run up to the top end of the table. So the chances are that, provided he pots this 5, he's only going to have 1 option here. Yeah, and this ain't good. Chance of a 2-way shot though, if he's going up to try and hit the 3, if he gets enough pace running it. Well, he's played it direct and he's got it. I think myself, I would have went for the 2-way shot. I would have hit it with enough pace to try and hit that, and if not, go off the short rail, long rail and down, try and hit the 1. Welcome to Run Out Rob. Welcome to Coldest Pillow. So you're the only 2 that's here. Well, the match is in its very early stages, so 1 or 2 more people maybe drop by as time goes on. Larry's accumulated 31 so far, but he hasn't got them in the bank. And we saw how costly that can be last night. And he's still okay. But 1 ball is out the game, so he really needs to address that whatever opportunity he can. Well, if he's potting the 5, he wants to go over the left side as we look, because that's his line to go from the bottom edge of the 3 over to the 5 when it's on its spot. But that's what it looks like, but whether Larry sees it that way, I don't know. Well, that's where he is headed, and that's perfect. But sooner or later, this is going to eventually stop if he doesn't give him that extra ball by getting that 1 in play. So now he can drop the 3 in dead weight and stay up there, and he'll be good for the 3-5. He's still keeping it together, and he's accumulated 43 from his first visit. Yeah, I saw that. I saw it in the schedule. Well, now, this is tricky because of the angle he's got in the 5. He wants to nip back off this 5 ball to leave the 5-3 when it spots, but it's just a wee bit fiddly, this angle. Yeah, that's why he's went forward. He could have done with going forward a wee bit more. He could have done with going the other side of that diamond there, the first diamond in the bottom of the rail there. He could have done with being over to the left. Now he looks as if he was maybe contemplating a two-way shot there, going off the 5, get up short rail, long rail down to the 3, and then maybe miss the 3 and hit the 1 if it happens. But he could stun the 3 and go into the 5. Well, he went all out for the 3. But most important thing is it's a contribution of 52, and he's kept his points. So that's not bad for a first visit. And Coldest Pillow has jinxed Larry because I've just read the chat. He says, high run here. So there's the person to blame. I never said anything. Well, Misken struggling to get himself off the mark. But that's the thing with Cowboy. You just got to be patient. It can be getting a wee bit frustrating if you can't get into that rhythm. There's still plenty of time. Thing is, though, that he might be chasing quite a total here if he gets back to the table. Now you notice the 1 ball still lodged on this short rail in the bottom, and the 5 ball likewise. So Larry's run was only 7, but that's partly due to where these balls are sitting. And that nudge in the 1 could come in very handy as well. So that's now an open table. And straight away, Misken's got everything back in play here. Now you see, this is again in between a thin edge and a force follow, and the force follow is tricky at that angle to judge. And the thin edge is tricky as well. It's an in-between shot, this. And that's the problem. You see, having to play that force follow at that angle is a lot more difficult to judge because you don't play an awful lot of them. You tend to get yourself in a decent line, a shallower line for playing follow-throughs. And when you start to make that decision to take the force follow at that sort of wider angle, it's a lot more difficult to read. Like I say, the more you play them, the more you'd be comfortable with them, but that's the problem. And having said that, Larry has missed the carom, so Misken straight back in. Well, good evening to Yamaguchi Taru. Well, a good game of cowboy. I think I've said this before. A good game of cowboy is a very good first visit. Maybe, high 70s, 80s, whatever. And then your next visit, you get well into the caroms, and then your third visit, you're out. I mean, I think I've won a couple of racks doing that on a good day, but most of the time it's multiple visits. But on a good day, you can win a cowboy rack, certainly in one visit, obviously, but maybe a minimum of three decent visits. But I think the most important thing is trying to find that consistency in how much you are scoring when you do come to the table. The 30s and 40s are good. 10s and 15s are no good. It's going to be a long haul if that's all your contributions are most of the time. But Larry's now the favourite here. He's got good enough table to get himself to 90 and get starting the caroms. And there's the old trackball mouse. And Larry's done it again. There we go. Larry played the little dinky shot and the trackball mouse failure on evidence for everybody to see. And that's why you don't want a trackball mouse. And it's not the first time Larry's done that, and it won't be the last. Yeah, I watched the penalties. They certainly weren't the best team in the tournament. I'll say that. They just got lucky in the penalties. In Spain were, I don't know what the percentage of possession was, but it'd be pretty high for Spain. I think they dominated that second half. But the women, the English women's team, of course they would. The English women's team wouldn't get they wouldn't get a look in against any man's team. Surely that must be obvious. I mean, they're not going to win a ball in the air for a start, and they're just going to get bullied all over the place. There'll be women's bodies lying all over the pitch. No, there's no way that the women have got the physique to match men playing football. That's a no-no. So Larry on 76. And it's not beyond Misken though, but he's at the stage now where he knows he has to have a significant contribution to pose a threat for Larry. Sure enough, he's going to get chances to score. It's asking a lot to run straight through the caroms, but I would think Misken's going to get at least one, if not two more opportunities here. But however many he does get, he must be putting in a big score to try and track down Larry as quick as he can before Larry's get too far into these caroms. That's his only hope. Larry now potting the 3-ball, stay up top, and that'll be him on 90. Now this is where you have to play this right. Now Larry can punch the one ball around the table here and try and get it near that 3 ball. Now, he hasn't hit it enough though. But he's got a line where he can get to the 3 off the 1, but he's now going to find it difficult for the next one because the 1 ball, 3 and 5 are going to have big distances between them. Well, he's kicked into the back of the 3, which actually has worked out pretty good. He's got to be careful here, though. He just wants to touch that 3 ball and no more. And he can get the 3 up the table here. He's not. Well, the thing is, if he just feathers this, he's missed the 1, almost scratched. He needed a little dab of English on there to help it towards the 1. He won't be worried though because the vital thing is he's got 95. That runner 33 kept his caroms, and he's in a strong position. And the table's not great. Tell a lie, I thought he was finished. Did he get a brush in that? My eyes must be going at this time of night. I thought he'd missed it. Oh, he missed it this time though. He must have got a feather edge. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Misken's at the table. Larry is on 95. And Misken with a lot of work to do. Now he does, from that first match I saw with Mr. Fox, he does let the cue ball run loose. And we know what disasters can befall you doing that. But you've got to be prepared to take the risk when you're chasing, you know. Being ultra cautious when you're chasing is no good.
Where's the cue ball going?
No good. That's a disaster. Only saving grace there is the fact that 2 balls are in the kitchen. So Larry has to play out. Now, I think what he should be doing is going from the right side of that 3 ball. Although where the cue ball is, that's not where I'd be playing it. I'd be playing it sort of near the 1 ball to get the line off the 3 and come down for the 1 and 5. He's moving it out towards it. It looks as if he's going a one-way shot here. I'd be playing the right side. See, he's going one way and found the side pocket. I think that was entirely the wrong shot as far as I'm concerned. He had to go right side, long rail, short rail, long rail, and down this line. If he misses the 1, he might hit the back rail and hit the 5. He had to play the 2-way shot there. And Misken giving it a slam. Gets the carom. So now he has to make a pot. And he's not in any healthy shape this end of the table. And it's going to have to be a good one in that 3. Now he's taking his time, trying to get the line. Got the pot. And now, well, he should. He looks as if he's trying to kick the back of these, but I think the line's there from the 3 ball to the long rail. And he never even gave that a look, which is, I find a bit puzzling. I mean, why he didn't look at the line from the 3 ball to the rail to get to those 2 balls. Never even so much as glanced at it, never gave it a thought. And that could have been a mistake. 1 ball's in a dangerous place for Larry to be working with it, but it's in a perfect position if you're trying to get out. But he still needs those other 4 caroms yet. And Misken gets reprieved. But this is probably last chance saloon in this rack for Misken. So he gets the pot, he gets the carom. He maintains the open table. Well, he actually missed the pot there, and he got second prize by actually making the carom. So he was a wee bit careless that there. And still struggling to get any decent shape here. Yeah, that was a good effort. Very good effort. Larry's going to have to go well, there's a 2-railer off the 5 around it. Well, 2 3-railer around the corner up the top side there over to that 3. Pretty certain he can play that. Let me have a look. A quick look. Yeah, to me the shot was the other way, because if you go the other way and you miss the 3, you've got a chance of hitting the 1. And so there's another two-way shot there that Larry never played, and that's 2 that he's avoided. You've always got to look for the 2-way option, just in case. Because the second prize sometimes the one that keeps you at the table and eventually will get you out. So Misken again, Larry's still on 96. Misken way back in 51. But if he can get this table into shape, he might still have a chance. Really wants that 3 ball out of there fairly quickly as well. That's why he's chosen to pot it. Now he's going to need the stun to get to this 1-5. Well, the 1's slightly higher up the table, so that's the ball to play the stun from. Just grazes the bottom end of the 5. Well, again, he can pot the 1 and use it to get to the 5. If he's going to pot the 5, he's going to either have to stay at this end or run up top. And now he's ended up completely in between and never even made the pot. So that was poor. A poor visit there from Misken. And that won't get the job done. And of course, Larry comes to the table with a carom already set up for him. And more to come. Well, the dodgy shot, of course, is going towards the 1 ball here. Larry looks as if he's trying to go around the back into the 5, and that's going to just graze it and no more. But now, every chance he should be out here. He's got 98, and he's another carom, 1 to follow. Oh, he's going to be dead. He's going to be dead. He's ended up right behind the 1. And he's not got much room at all to manoeuvre here. Well, he's going to have to take the risk, bumping this 1 out the way and trying to run the cue ball. He's played it well. Problem though is look at how everything's set up now. Going to have to try and draw into the other corner pocket for the outshot. So after, well, 30 minutes, so we're going along at an average rate here for a Raka Cowboy. He didn't get into the cue ball enough. But he's kept his points, of course, and now Misken is at the point of no return. And he's got to be careful because the one ball sitting there is very dangerous. Well, he's got 6 points, but it wouldn't do any harm to just sacrifice him and lock Larry up behind that 3 ball there. As it is, he's had a go at the 5, given a chance for Larry to get out into the side pocket. And I think what he should have done is he just played the deliberate foul there and stuck Larry behind the 3 ball. You know, you lose your 6 points, but the thing is it's much better to lose your 6 points and play a shot that ends up losing you the rack, just like that. So Larry 1-0 up after 31 minutes. Yeah, you've got to use your head when it gets to the desperate situations in Cowboy, like where Misken was there. He had the option there where he could have just left Larry no shot. That's why you've got to play with your head screwed on. And Larry with a chance to drive the advantage home here, but I think he's got to have to play this combo because I think he's got them blocked off. Yep. Not a difficult combo though. He should be fine. How good is he though with the follow-up? Not good. That won't work. And now he's going to get a bit of yardage in this cue ball. Yeah, he was hoping that he'd get lucky, but it was far too much in line. And the odds are that the 5 ball was going to run in to the 1 ball there. So Misken gets reprieved very early. But it's time for Misken to make a score. That's not going to get to the pocket. Don't tell me he's playing with a trackball mouse as well, because that's a disaster. What's going on here? He just let Larry straight back in. Well, I think he wants to go to the rail and chip the back end of this 3 if he can. I don't think he wants to. Oh, tell a lie, he's on a pot. It's that time of night again. Well, he's done what I said anyway. He's potted the ball and actually tried to nudge the 3 away. It's still in a potable position, so he can get that out of there easy enough. Well, it isn't now. He's just nailed it to the rail. So it's going to be hard work for Larry. Just working with these 2 balls, and until such times he has maybe a line to get a carom and nudge that 3 out of there. It's definitely going to be tough. And suddenly it's got tougher. Got no pot on. He's got a bank. He fancies that. He's got a very thin cut in the 1 he's going to have to blast. And it was a lot thinner than that he needed. But likewise for Misken, he's coming to the table. Okay, he's only 28 behind. It's not a disaster yet, but it's going to be hard work for him as well. I'm thinking if he's playing the 1, he's maybe in between looking at the 1 to the 3 here, or the 1 to the 5. He's again not looking at the 1 to the 3. It's risky, but
Where's the cue ball going?
not as risky as that one, I'm afraid. And again, the points have gone, and Misken can't get started. And straight away, Larry, with ball in hand, is going to do the necessary, get that 3 ball back in play. And the best shot here would be the 2 railer. And he's went too narrow again. He's went too narrow, so Misken again is reprieved, but Misken's had all these reprieves and not been able to capitalise on anything so far. So first thing he should be doing is potting that 5, guaranteeing that he's got a carom to follow immediately. I'm getting the impression that Misken isn't 100% focused on what's happening here. Something's going on in the background. And because the shot clock's gone, the one of the extensions is gone. I think he's maybe thinking he wasn't going to be back to the table quite as quick as he was. And that's not going to get to the pocket either. That's terrible. I don't know what the hell he's doing, but his mind is not in the job here. I mean, this is a big sellout, this. Well, I had, what did I have? I had two fish burgers, 2 rolls, or two buns, 2 rolls as we call them up here, and 2 fish burgers. Bird's eye, what is it you call them? Hash brown fish burgers. They're lovely with tartar sauce on top. I had 2 of them at lunchtime, and so I didn't really feel all that hungry for my tea. So all I had was some macaroni cheese before I came to do this match. I didn't feel like anything really substantial. Well, it's quite clear that there's a different Misken turned up tonight, because he's made some proper boo-boos, but I just think he's distracted. I think there's something going on. We're not getting the full attention of him here. And it's not looking good. Larry already with a 51 lead. And Misken's going to be coming to the table with an awful lot of work to do. And in the evidence that we've seen tonight, I don't think we should expect an awful lot out of him. What a contrast from the other night. Well, Larry's run ends in 23, but again, he keeps them.
Where's the cue ball going?
Now, Misken's finding out what does happen when you run the cue ball too much. That's what happens. And he's stalled again. And he's going to be getting a wee bit frustrated, but, you know, that's the risk you take playing the high-risk game. Well, again, he's got another reprieve. Larry's hung the 3 ball. And there you go again. Chance to get something on the scoreboard that's going to count. Oh, good evening to Cobra. Well, so far, Misken's done nothing in this match. Nothing but mistakes that have cost him. And that visit ends in 15. So Larry's still with a healthy lead, and he's a good one to get started here, though. Now, can he see that to drop that 1 ball in? That's very close. Just dead weight. Yeah. And now he's back in business. Well, again, he can go around the corner into the back of the 3. Well, he can again just drop the 1 in and play the 1-3. I mean, that's the least amount of work you have to do. You just drop the 1 in and you'll have a 1-3 to follow. You always, I mean, every game that you ever play in pool or billiards is all about simplicity. The simple way to do it and get the next shot. When you start having to do acrobatics for the next shot, then you've got problems. Simplicity is the best thing about it. If there's an easy way to do it, then that's what you stick to. And Larry now on 87. Needs the carom though. And needs to keep the 1 ball in play, which he has done. That gets him to 89. Now with the carom to follow, he should be good for the 1-5, but he just doesn't want to go too far. Or not far enough. But that'll do. So this will get him on the 90. Now let me have a look at that 5 ball. Well, he can overcut the 1 and go up to the 3. He can go thin off the left side of the 5 ball, but he might need a wee bit of right English to do it. If you go very thin off that with a wee bit of right English, you should hold a line to get to the 3. Now, why the hell's... Oh, no, shit, he was on a pot. My bad. I've made the mistake again. I forgot he was on a pot. Well, Misken, to me, I think I said the other day, he's a guy I've never seen here on any regular basis. I mean, he according to that, he's got the UK flag. But no, I don't see him. He doesn't play in tournaments in any regularity at all. In fact, point blank, I don't think he does. At least if he does, it must be a weird time when I'm not around. Larry on 27 in this visit, up to 81. And, well, I'm not sure whether he thinks he was on a pot or a card there, but it looks as if he played a deliberate shot to get to the 3, and I think Larry's sort of lost the plot there a wee bit. I'm sure it looked like it. He ended up missing the pot, got the carom to the 3, which I think is what he thought he was playing. Although I don't know, I can't work it out. Anyway, whatever it does matter is that again his last chance saloon for Misken. He's a mile behind, and well, he's already found out the cost of playing that open play and letting the cue ball loose. I know that because that's the way I play it, and that's how you pay the price. When you start running the cue ball loose too often, you're going to fall foul of it. You're going to find a pocket sooner or later. And it just so happens that you don't want that to be happening in this sort of match. But that's what he's done. You live or die by those choices. But he's got himself into a situation where he has to take those risks. It's the only way of trying to survive now. Get yourself back into this. I mean, when you think about it, it looks as if it's heading for a disaster, but he's only 1-0 down. It's not looking great in the second rack, but one good run is all it takes in this rack. I mean, Larry's not at the caroms. You need one good run to take a big chunk off this deficit, and you're in with a shout. So it isn't as bad as it looks. Well, he's on his biggest contribution so far, but it's not a counting contribution yet. And now he's out of line. He needs a good pot to stay at the table. Dodgy cut in the 5. Got to watch the cue ball as well. Got to watch the cue ball.
Where's the cue ball going?
Well, the only good thing about that is he kept his points, but any more pace in that cue ball and it was gone. So Larry now has become the strong favourite. That contribution wasn't good enough for Misken, really. And Larry now on 86. Not the best of shape here. He's got to make the carom, but he's missed it. Didn't get enough stun. He could have used the rail. So one more opportunity for Misken.
Where's the cue ball going?
And almost another disaster. Well, I'm giving this guy the big build-up after that last match that I seen when he played Mr. Fox. And now we're seeing the other side of how loose, playing cowboy loose, works against you. Because that's certainly what's happened to him. Larry, though, still short of the 90. And Misken did this in one of the racks against Mr. Fox, where he had to put in a contribution. He did do it that time and stole the rack. He's out of line again, needing another good pot. Now, this is where it becomes a struggle, where you have to start digging out pots at awkward angles and stuff like that by not getting yourself in full control. And again, the visit is only 14 installed in 57. Larry can roll the 3 in. Problem with that is he's got to think about where his next carom's coming from. So he decided to play the carom to start with. Almost scratched, Misken another reprieve. But this is 100% last chance this time. Broadmoor's in the Isle of Wight, Cobra. I just thought I'd mention that. I mean, you might tell us you're going on holiday. Well, Misken, slowly but surely, well, I say slowly, maybe not surely, trying to crawl his way back into this rack. Larry's still short of the carom phase. And Misken trying to keep himself under control here. Well, he's going to have to go left side of the 1 ball unless he fancies a force follow, but he needs to avoid the 1 ball in the way there, which he has done. Now we've got the situation looming where he knows he needs another good carom to follow this. So he's got to get down below here, I would think. He's got to follow this through this 1 ball. And that's neither here nor there. He's right in the middle of no man's land. Well, he could go up and down. Doesn't look as if he's doing that though, but well, he has. He's went too thick though. If he'd played that better, he could have went up and down with a thin edge, try and catch something on the way up and possibly something on the way back. So the visit ends on 25. But Larry trying to open up with another carom has failed again. So this genuinely is Misken's best chance in this whole match so far to do anything. And the only other worry for him would be the fact that he's having to play the carom now, and he's only going to have the one ball to work with for the pot because the three balls sort of out of the game at the top end of the table. That puts him in. I mean, he could try and cut the three, but it'd be a bit crazy going for that when the one ball's sitting there. And now he's got to stay below here to try and have a shot. Well, he's trying to run it to sort of get there, but it hasn't got the legs. But this is a big target, the 5 ball. He's got to make sure he's overcutting the 1. Now it's high stakes the way he's sitting here. Overcut the 3, try and spin into the rail and get the back of the 5. And that's a disaster.
Where's the cue
That's the
ball
danger.
going?
He had to get to the rail first. Instead, he got it direct and hit it half ball and went in off it, and there goes the points. And Larry could only play the 3 ball because it was the only one that he could play legally because he's an 86. The 5 ball was no good for him. Larry trying the thin edge cut, misses it completely. The old eyes have gone. And so Larry's had about 3 or 4 attempts to get to 90. Hasn't got there yet. And Misken banking the 5. He's got, again, this is one of these in-between force following thin edges. He's going for the thin edge on 87. Well, this is horrible. He's not got much choice here. He's got to play the bank. In fact, he's playing the safety. Larry will try the... Well, I thought he would try the double kiss, but he's trying to spin it up. Play the bank. Cue ball's gone
Where's
again.
the cue ball going?
Well, Larry's completely ground to a halt here. And Misken, looking odds-on favourite to be into the caroms. Well, again, to me, every day of the week, it's a two-way shot off that 3 ball. I mean, it's a two-way shot every day of the week. He's went the other way, and he's got it two-way that way. That worked. He got second prize there. Well, it's been a slow start for Misken, but Larry's sort of come off the rails at the end of this rack. He's been in 86 for 20 minutes. Had about 5 or 6 goes trying to score something, hasn't got there.
Where's the cue ball going?
And Misken, a very valuable, what is it, 6 points, but that takes him up to 94. Oh, he's still at the table. Oh, he's not anymore. I've jinxed him there. Well, Larry again cannot pot the 5. That takes him over the 90, and he's not sitting good in the 1 ball either. So Larry's has not had the most inviting table, but he's got the pot in the 1. I think that's going to hit the knuckle, so he's completely stalled. Absolutely frozen. Just cannot get himself going again. And all that Misken has to do is just chip away and chip away. And if he can get one good shot now, he could try the 3 railer to the 3 ball. He's trying to go direct to the 1. That'll work. It will work, but he's not any better off than what he was 30 seconds ago, because he's got more hard work to do. He's got to try and get one of these balls manoeuvring in the right direction. This is a bit better. This is much better. But he does not want to lose these. You've got to be careful how he hits this 5. And he's playing it gentle. Once again, you've got to look at where this needs to hit a rail. Oh, he's just hit the rail and no more. I think he missed the heartbeat there. So the run ends on 4, but that takes him to 98. And finally, Larry can pot a ball. 1 ball gets him to 87. But again, he's got to play the carom. And there's loads of room round that 5 ball. He's gone direct.
Where's the cue ball
And
going?
that's what happens. You go direct, you stun the ball out of the way of the cue ball, still get the momentum, and it finds a pocket, and Larry's back to square 1. Oh, God. I mean, that is a good half hour Larry's been sitting on 86. And this is how matches turn. How a rack can completely turn on its head in Cowboy. Because Misken wasn't showing any great signs of life. But he's had all the encouragement he needs to settle in and get these caroms picked off. Trying a little draw to the 1. That's got him to 99. Larry has another go at trying to not only score something, but keep them. So we're now over the hour. This second rack taking that bit longer. And Larry's going to play the carom again. He's got to be careful. Trying to keep the 1 ball in play, because it's the only one he can use for his next shot. And the cue ball's not really went high enough. It means you just got to work the cue ball that bit more if he's trying to hit this 5. Well, if it had the pace, it would have got second prize. It was heading straight towards that 3. Well, is there maybe another twist in this? Misken not in great shape here. He's a good one to start him off here. That'll get him to the 100. And it's a 2-way shot here for the 1 and the 5. And he's got the 1, and the 1's coming up into play. And the outshot is most certainly on. I mean, this is just take a sliver of the 1 ball and out into that other corner pocket. So this for 1 apiece. And he's gone to the jaw. Now Larry's chance to pick Misken's pocket here. This would certainly cause pain. if Larry could find a way to run these out. Little two railer. Got to stun it to the rail, I think, though, if he's trying that. Let me have a look. Well, he's trying to go direct, and he might get away with this. Yeah. But watch the one ball. Where's it going? Well, it's hit the knuckle. And again, he can play a... Well, if he plays it hard enough, he can play a two-way shot. But this 3 ball's a big target. That's maybe too narrow, is it? Oh, he just caught it and no more. He can have another go at it. He can have another go. This is set up very nicely. You just got to double check you're not potting the one. He's got to be making sure he's overcutting it, and that's fine. And he can have a go the other way now. From the 3 to the 1. And again, this is a shot where it should be just how much of the 3 ball you're taking. Let me have a look. Yeah, it's all about how much of the 3 you're taking. The cue ball is going to take that line. You know, that tangent line from the 3 to the 1 is all based on how much you're taking of it. And that might work in his favour. He got a double kiss there. Can he keep these balls fairly close together? Or at least can he open out into an easy carom to follow? This would be a steal and a half for Larry. Oh, he's went round the back. I'm pretty certain he's come out the back door there. And the run ends on 5. That takes him to 94. And this one ball is no good where it's sitting. This is tough. He's trying to go left English, I think, and just come straight down, cut this one and come straight down into the corner. Yeah. No, he's went to... Hasn't read that right at all. You needed to put a bit of help in English on it as well, I think. And what he has done, though, is set Larry up for a starter. And now you come to the table, you know you need to dig out a shot because these are not sitting anywhere near good. Now, if he can get that one ball really thin and avoid that knuckle, can he not get down to the 3? Let me have a look. I think... Well... I think it's touch and go that if you get a wee feather of that 1... and come down in that line, you might be able to kick the back of that 3. He looks as if he's trying to do stuff with the cue ball here. Oh, he's trying to go to the 5. I think either way was tough. But to get to that 3, you had to be really thin. But anyway, it's a gift now for Misken. He's got to be one apiece here. After 1 hour and 10 minutes. Well, Larry's always all out for the shot. I mean, that's the thing I keep harping on. When you're in a situation, there's times in the caroms, especially when your opponent's on the outshot, you have to protect that one ball. Now, Misken is just asking if he can just go for a bathroom break, which he's about to do. And I'm going to have a drink.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.
So Misken failed in the break-off shot, missed the pot in the 3, missed the carom. This is Larry's first contribution. A chance to build up that score, put the pressure on. Am I muted? I was lying back in my chair there. I'm actually doing my best to try and stay awake, knowing that this match is probably going to drag on for another 2 hours. And it's already 8:15. And I've got work in the morning. Well, I don't know what concoction Larry was trying there, but it certainly didn't work. So Larry's visit only 15. Yeah, well, I had that there. I was off for, I got Wimbledon. And I also had the Open Championship. So I timed that right. And then I saw a fair bit of the cricket as well. I can feel the get to bed syndrome beginning to kick in big time here. You know who was back in in VP4 for a little while there. Sharky 9 was back in VP4 for a little while. And I think I remember him saying that the reason he hadn't been here is he wasn't keeping well either at one time. So I hope he's okay, because he's disappeared again. So in the early stages of rack number 3, Larry misses his carom. So it's going to be a slow burn, this rack. I don't think I'm back off until October. In fact, let me just check. I can check all my shifts with my work app. It'll tell me. And I've still got a few days, I've got a few hours left as well, which probably equate to another couple of days off that I haven't taken. Let me see what we've got here. Right, so that was me off those 2 weeks in July. Working all the way through August. All the way through September. And then I'm pretty certain I've got a week off in October. Yes, I've got a week off in the middle of October, starting the 13th of October, and I think that's me till Christmas. November, December. Then I've got a week off in January. And then I've got another week off in March, and that's before the start of the new financial year. And then I'll have those days that I've still got as well. So that's me mapped out for the future. Welcome to Interchange X. Well, nobody's threatening your high run here tonight so far. Not really. Well, Larry's loath to pot the one. He wants to try and get the 5 into play. Now, the thing is, he could pot the 1 and use the 1 to get the 5 out. The fact that he's potted the 5, he needs to be sitting good, and he's pretty good anyway. He can go short rail into the back of this 1. Short rail, long rail, possibly. You never want to go direct to this. And he's just grazed that and no more. Well, if he's Scottish, then why's he got a bloody Union Jack flag? That's my question. Well, we say ken down in Ayrshire. Do you ken? Do you know? It's just another word for numpty. That's basically what Tam's saying. Because that's exactly what a numpty is. Yeah, that old masturbation injury's kicking in there, Tam, especially when you were mucking about in the garden. Now, I think we've got a disconnect here. Misken's left the building. Well, he must be. I think he might be playing on a laptop and on a dodgy bloody Wi-Fi connection. Because it's not often many people in the UK get disconnected. It's only these backwoods country that you get dodgy connections, like somewhere out in the States. It'd be more likely Larry losing a connection. But Misken is back. But the message has finally cleared the screen. The clock is ticking down. The extensions have all gone. Larry's now come back online. So I don't know what the hell's happened there. Larry had left the room as well. Well, straight away he's going to have to dig out a carom, trying to go to the 5. Missed the 5, got the two-way shot to the 1. No, that was something Tam picked up when he was a teenager, that injury. Well, it said Misken in my screen, and it says Misken has arrived. I'm looking at the chat messages in the room. Larry has left, Misken had left, and then it says Misken has arrived and Larry has arrived. The two of them ended up disappearing out of the room. Anyway, they're both back at the moment. Misken at the table and getting himself just into the lead. This is dangerous. This is a dangerous carom. Well, so much so he's erred on the safe side too far and missed it. So the slender lead. But Larry's back in. I'll have another quick drink. Anybody know what happened in the what do you call it, the 9-ball Scottish doubles? I take it that's done and dusted, is it not? Let me have a look. Or are they still playing? Oh no, wait a minute. There we go, there's the result there. Stefan and Chimpy was at the final. Presume it was. There would have been a match before that. Because there was 3 teams in it. There it is. Wink at me and Blad Dolores or whatever he's called. They won 7-1. The 9-ball Scottish doubles champions this week. Well, Larry's run didn't last long, however many he scored, because Misken's at it again. Well, it might be that Misken's given himself enough time to try and settle into this match. It might have been a different story had he lost that second rack, but this may well be giving him all the incentive
Where's the cue ball going?
to try and get himself in front here. He has the lead. Can he keep his points? Oh, this is doable. Just got to watch the pace.
Where's the
because
cue
of
ball
that.
going?
I mean, that was so obvious. You've just got to watch the pace because you hit the top side of the one you're going to skim across. And he's blown it. Oh, you've got to see the obvious in this game. You really do. I mean, the obvious is you hit that connection the wrong way, especially if you play it at the wrong pace. He was far too heavy. The cue ball's going to want to head to that corner. And that's a bad error. Having just got himself in front in the rack, building up a healthy lead, he's blown it all. And now the ball back in Larry's court. What can he make of it? Now, that was a sucker scratch, that one. Well, Larry could play the thin cut in the one, get it on its spot, get him down the table. He'd be unlucky not to have a carom on. This looks good. This is exactly how we would have visualised this going. Pretty much guaranteed a carom. Now, if he plays this at the right pace, he can keep that 3 ball alive so he can pot it. If he doesn't want to slam this, just wants to tickle that 3 ball. In fact, he's actually potted it. It might work to his advantage. Well, maybe not. It's not as the cue ball could have done. We've been further up the table. Now he's in sort of no man's land. Now you can play the carom with left English to straighten the cue ball and get it off that rail. Tell a lie, he was on a pot. My bad. What time is it? It's 8:30. The brain is gone half dead. Now he's okay because he's definitely on a carom. 5 goes in, which is a bonus. 3 ball comes in shape with the 1. So he's good to go here. And what a mistake by Misken at the wrong time. I mean, the rack was looking, it was beginning to shape up in his favour. And one mistake, and again, no sooner do I say that than Larry misses a pot and Misken's been reprieved. The visit ends in 26. He's got a lead, but it's, not beyond the Misken to get himself back in front here. He's got to hold it together, stay focused. And again, Again, every time I open my mouth, I completely jinx him. He's missed the pot in the side on the one ball. The visit is one, and that's going to get him nowhere. Now, it could be that Misken's one of these early risers as well, and his brain might be going in shutdown mode also. I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt here, because that was a shot of somebody that's half asleep would play. Larry got the 5-2 thin, so straight away Misken back at the table. Well, the pot and the carom sets up the open table. The one ball is not in the table because the cue ball's holding the spot. And again, he hasn't got the bloody ball to the pocket. That's twice he's done that. Larry's done it once. Why is he trying to be so cute? I mean, he could have played that fine with no worries about making the next carom. Either that or there's something dodgy going on with his mouse. Well, I think Misken's went immediately back to square one after having tied the match up with that second rack. It's all gone pear-shaped. Maybe Misken's using a trackball mouse as well. Now, that would really surprise me, that somebody would be dumb enough to actually try that. And I don't know what the hell Larry's done there, because he says, no. He's done something, and Misken's back in. Well, the 1 and 3 are set up good. Get the 5 on its spot, and you've got a possibility of 2 different caroms to play. Now there's a possibility you could get the carom off the 5 to the 1, and the cue ball could go to the 3. It looks as if he's going 1-3. The 3 ball goes in, which is again a bonus. And he can also get the 1 back in its spot, and then he's in conventional play now. Everything's set up. That 5 ball will still pot. It's a bit thin though. And that's what happens when it's a bit thin. So that visit is 17. Larry with a 20-point lead, got to be into the caroms at this visit. Got to keep the 1 alive at this end of the table, because he's going to need it for the pot next. And the 5 balls interfering with play, so now he's going to have to bail out in the 3. Well, he should be making sure he's not going to get extra point. He's going to get around the corner here, well away from the 1 and the 5 ball. And coming down for the follow-up carom. So that's maybe worked out good for Larry with that 5 ball bit of blocker there, because it's now set up an easy carom to get him started. You got to win in what? The story here is it possibly should have been 2-0 to Larry. Larry got into the faffing stage, as we call it. Me and Tam call it the faffing stage, where you get to near enough the caroms and then you can't get anywhere else. Larry was stuck at 86 for like 25 minutes or more, couldn't get to 90, and Misken eventually got there. And then Larry sold out on the outshot. He never he never did anything to try and keep the one ball safe. Larry was just going all out to try and pinch the rack, and then eventually just set up the easiest outshots for Misken to win rack number 2. And this one, at the moment, is very much going Larry's way, although he's sort of knocked a one ball out the game. Oh, I forgot. The 9-ball Scottish double. Aye. That's one win. So Larry in a strong position. The run ends on 14, and Misken trying to run the cue ball, doesn't get there. And Larry straight back in. But whatever he has got, it's dodgy. And the cue ball goes south. 3-ball is in play, so at least Misken has a pot on. He's going to try the draw at the same time, I think. You know, the biggest problem, why is it everybody can't be asked with the 8-ball Scottish doubles on a Saturday? We've got an 8-ball Scottish doubles at 8 p.m. British summertime every Saturday, and every Saturday for months on end, nobody's interested. Not a single person gives it a second look. And we used to play it fairly regularly at the start, and then interest seems to die. Well, there's enough prompts in the chat reminding people to hit the like button and subscribe. And if people can't be asked to take 2 seconds of their time to do it, sod them. That's what I say. Oh, Larry skims past the 3. I don't think that's going to count. I don't think the VP4 referee's going to do him any favours. So here we go. Last chance saloon this time for Misken. He has to pot the 1, get it into play. And not in ideal shape. But he's still got this, and he's straight away. Gets too much draw in the cue ball. Misses the 1. Hasn't left Larry anything simple. But there's still a chance here for Misken if he can actually get to the caroms. You know, Larry's only halfway there. He's in 95. He's going to have to go 2 rails. This looks good. Yeah. Another good one. That's the thing about this game. You've got to be prepared to use the rails. There's too many players try and go direct all the time and start doing crazy stuff with the cue ball, trying to make things happen. Whereas if you just look at the lines that you've got. Visualise the shot, how much you have to take of the object ball to make that line. And be brave. I think some folk are just scared to use the rails. Now, did Larry hit that one ball? If he did, that was excellent. Yes, he did. That takes him to 99. Now he's got to keep these points. He might be trying to overcut this 5 to come across to the 3, and this looks good if the 5 stays out the way. Did it get that? No, it didn't, because I think he was sitting plumb in the outshot there. I mean, there's an unmissable outshot off the 1. And this most certainly is your last chance, Misken. No more after this. Well, he got it in the rebound, or did he get it in the way across? Let me have a look. Did he get that in the way across and then hit it in the rebound again off the knuckle? Yes, he did. He just grazed it on the way across and then caught it in the way back. Well, he could have done without the double kiss. 5 ball stays where it is. And I don't think he's got a pot. Well, whatever he does have, it ain't easy. He's got a dodgy cut in the 1 that's a cutback, and that was well done. And again, he's in sucker territory here. This is sucker scratch every day of the week. If you hit this too hard. Takes him to 81. Got to get there to give himself half a chance to pickpocket Larry in this rack. Oh, well, he keeps the 3 in play, which was vital. That takes him to 90. Was he too straight? Oh, I think this is dodgy. This is very dodgy. I don't think he can get there. I don't think he can get there. He is trying to hold the line, and he's managed to do it. That was well done. That looked unconvincing to me that he could get there. Well, the obvious shot is going from the right side of the 1 to the 5, but the problem with that is you're cutting the 1 to the pocket, so he kept it safe, decided to play no risk. And, he's taking a chance letting Larry come back to the table, because this could very well be the carom that will take him to the 100. No guarantee he's going to be good in the 1, though. He hasn't got it. And likewise for Misken, he's got nothing inviting here. Let me have a look. Does he actually overcut the 3, go to the 5? The danger's a knuckle in the side pocket, but he might also get the second prize. He's going to get the second prize. That was a shot, the 2-way shot there. And same again, but got to make sure how he's cutting that 3 ball. And this might hit the back of the 1 if it's got legs. Oh, not quite. Well, Here we go again. Larry's awkward here because he's stuck next to the one. But, you know, the obvious shot here is the right side of the 3 ball. The shot Misken played. That needs to check up, and it has checked up. Where's the cue ball going? No, he's got the outshot for a 2-1 lead. This looks comfortable. Let me have a look. Oh, yeah, this is every day of the week. You're never missing this. So after an hour and 47 minutes, it should be Larry with a 2-1 lead. And there you go. Now, somebody can think back to some of the tournaments in recent times, but is this the longest that Larry's stayed in the winner's side in a tournament like this for a while? Because sometimes his time in the winner's side is all too short. At the moment, he's favourite to get to round 4. I know what I'm going to get. I've got little chicken tikka pieces on sticks. I'm going down for them. I need something to nibble. I'll be back in a minute. Right, I've got my my chicken skewers. Which is basically two sort of chicken nuggety size things on a cocktail stick. Welcome back to Tam. I think all these racks have pretty much started the same way, where nobody can get into any sort of reasonable scoring level. Oh, Larry's going downhill.
Where's the cue ball going?
That was a complete disaster. Well, if you're relegated to the PC, Tam, all I can think is there's some shite on the telly that the other half wants to watch when it's coming up to 9 o'clock. That's obviously what it is. There's garbage that she wants to watch. Now, you'll notice that I'm not doing a Steve where I'm talking with my mouth full. I'm muting my mic when I'm doing that. I just thought I'd mention that with my mouth full. Simon, is Steve actually back, or has he just come down from the mountains? Because he was obviously showing that he was here yesterday, but he's not here today. So I'm thinking he's back down to sea level, but he's not back home yet. Well, if he asks you, Simon, is there anything I need to know, tell him Hugh's got a cracker of a bug to show him. Tell him the video's on my channel, he can go and watch it. Well, Larry's just said in the chat that his brain is going, and Misken said, and mine. They're both showing signs of wear and tear. Well, let me just put it this way, Simon. I won't be knocking on his door. If he wants to speak to me, he can knock on my door. Well, he just grazes a 1. The 3, sorry. Not the 1. I can't count at this stage of night either. I still say Misken's just another way of saying he's an umpty. I'm still eating, by the way, so that's why I mute myself. Oh, I knew I had something I wanted to talk about. In fact, no, not basically talk. I wanted to have a rant about. And that's these parents that come into our store, not just our store, but every other bloody person's store. These parents that bring kids into the store and they can't keep their kids under control. They can't keep their kids behaving at a level whereby they don't then go into a bloody tantrum. Now, these are parents that's managed to, so far, up to a point, teach the kid how to shit and piss in the right places, kept them fed, but can he keep the little bastards under control when they go into a public place? So, in that sense, in my eyes, they're failed parents, because if you've got your bloody kids brought up and taught properly, then they will behave in a public place. They won't need to get into a bloody tantrum and come into our store bawling and screaming in bloody stereo and quadraphonic sound sometimes. I mean, why don't they bloody teach their kids to shut their bloody face and behave? Because I know I'd be kicking them up the arse, but I'm old school. I was brought up the old way, and I just can feel my blood boiling when they start to bloody scream. And I think, what the hell's the parent doing with this kid that they're letting them bloody scream? Anyway, that's my rant over. But I know my solution. My solution's to have a big creche, a big room. They all get tagged up. They get thrown in there, and they can bawl and scream, and it's soundproof. And then the parent goes and collects them and goes home, or the parent takes other sort of means and leaves them with somebody that'll look after them before they go shopping, so that we ban bloody kids coming to the shops. Give us peace so we can work. I know I'm pretty radical in my views. And another thing, when I was growing up, there was no such thing as attention deficit disorder. There was no such thing as autism. There was no such thing as bloody dyslexia. You were just marked down as thick and left in the corner to go on with it. That's the way it was back in my day. Now everybody's got every excuse in the book. You've even got that bloody Greg Wallace saying that he's got some behavioural problems that caused him to start making an ass of himself in front of women. He tried to come up with that excuse. Aye, it's an easy thing to fall back on. Just pay a doctor enough money, they'll give you a bloody certification that you've got all sorts of things wrong with you. Well, people of a certain age know what would happen if you started being cheeky. Back in my time, you'd have got a slap across the back of the head, or worse. And that taught you a lesson. Now you can't hit the wee bastards. You just have to take the lip. I couldn't stand that. I could not stand that. Screaming kids. Anyway, I've now consumed what I was consuming, and Larry is now the strong favourite to win this match because he's got a run of 33. He's into the caroms, And now Larry's got to play with a bit of common sense here. He can't be taking any risk here and keep these points. Well, like I said, why is it that kids can be taught to go to the bathroom, dress themselves, do all of that stuff, yet they can't be taught to behave? It seems to me there's a failing in parenting when they come out with their kids and their kids are bloody running and screaming around about the shop, or they take the huff because they're not getting something. I mean, what the hell are these parents doing that they can't teach their child discipline? I mean, it can't be that hard. You give them a proper briefing before you go out and you tell them, listen, I don't want you making an ass of yourself when we go in here. But like I said, there's ways to deal with it. If you know the kid's got a behavioural problem, then don't bring the little bugger with you. Leave them somewhere else, preferably 10 miles away. Oh, you're joking. QVC. Oh, there's a sad life. There is a sad life. Somebody sitting watching QVC at 9:10 at night. God almighty. I'm happy to say that's a channel that never sees the light of day in my telly. Meanwhile, Misken has to get there. And he has to have a pot on. And he ain't got that. He's going to have to dig out the 3 ball or play the bank in the 5 or a dodgy cut in the 5. And that was well done. I don't ever remember when I was a kid running about and screaming in a shop. I don't ever remember being lifted and slung into a bloody shopping trolley to stop me running about a shop. That never happened. All of this habit, see, the way parents think they can control their kids in a store is by lifting them up and strapping them into the shopping trolley. And not only that, you'll get kids that are far too big. They're not toddlers, but they're getting lifted into the shopping trolley as well. And there's barely room for one banana and an apple in the bottom of the trolley, because some trolleys have got actually 2 kids sitting in the trolley itself. I never needed to be lifted into a trolley whenever I went shopping with my mother and father. That never happened. In fact, I mean, I used to actually steer the trolley. Now, that's a bad thing, because one young boy was steering the trolley a few weeks ago, and he was running up an aisle, and the next thing you know, the trolley wheel got jammed, and he went head over heels over the trolley, and had a good laugh. I don't mind seeing somebody injure themselves when they're an arsehole and been an idiot, because it's self-inflicted damage, and they deserve it. I mean, I get great pleasure watching somebody getting injured because of their stupidity. And I think everybody else would admit that as well. So I had a quiet little chuckle when I saw that happening. But this habit has happened in recent times, where parents think the easiest way to control the kids from running around the store is to strap them into the trolley, rather than actually dealing with it in a proper manner and controlling their kids. Teaching them how to bloody behave. Back in my day, it was a good kick in the arse you got if you didn't behave. And I learned from that. Well, Larry took the big risk there. That was always doomed to failure, going anywhere near that ball. And it's given Misken his last lifeline, I think. Larry's on 91. Misken coming to the table on 81. And with a very good chance here that if he can get things started, he could go a long way to taking this all the way, and me being very late into my bed. We are now 2 hours and 12 minutes into this match. And Misken needs to have the shot in the one, which he has, but he's almost killed the 3 ball. Well, I mean, the 5 ball wants to pot, doesn't it? It wants to pot that 5 ball. And that's why he's ended up missing the 1. So now it's going to be hard work, working with these 2 balls. And Misken's still short of the 90. I've been tired since 8 o'clock. If you're asking me that question, I've been going downhill since then. Well, Misken gets to 90. He's not going to get much more, though. And I don't think any of these 2 guys have got the notion to really try and get that 3 ball back in play at some point. But if the table does end up in a reasonable setup, it might be worth the risk. I think, in all honesty, if I was Larry, that's the ploy I'd be looking at, because I want to win this match and get this rack done with. I don't want to be going all the way, so I want to give myself every chance. Okay, it's also helped my opponent, but he's the one that's under a lot more pressure than I am. So I think that if the time comes, it might be worth the risk trying to get that 3 ball into play, but not now. Well, there's a right time to pot that red, where there's a lower risk that you're going to leave something easy on. Misken actually had a good opportunity there where he could have potted the three ball and kept the cue ball in the jaws. He wasn't leaving an easy carom from that position. And Larry was trying to chip the 3 out the corner there. He had a good go at it. Any closer, he'd have probably been in off the 3 ball, but it's just not a favourable table at that for either player. But Larry, being 3 in front, The onus is really on Misken to take the initiative here, but obviously with the 1 ball being there, it's not the right time to even contemplate moving a 3 ball. And the 5 ball almost been on its spot as well. But he's dug out 1 carom. I don't know whether that 5 can go through. Now you could go 2 rails into the back of the 1. That's certainly on, but there's a big gap to go around the back of the 1 completely here if he doesn't get it right. He needs to go tight. And he's got it. Now these are all valuable. But to get the next one, he's going to have to run it. He's going 2-3 rails here trying to get to the 1. This is what I'd be doing as well. I mean, it's crazy. It's high risk. Because you end up doing that.
Where's the cue ball going?
You end up doing that. That's the risk you take when you start putting yardage into the cue ball. So all that hard work for those vital caroms straight down the pan. Larry trying again to get a little edge, but he's made it worse. He's got the carom, but that 3 ball is completely dead now. So now Misken is the one that has to take the initiative. He doesn't want to leave it too late. He doesn't want to be trying to soldier on with these 2 balls to try and score any accumulation of caroms. He's got to take the initiative and get that into play. And he could do it now. I mean, it's risky, but you could do it now. Just put the 3 ball on its spot, leave the cue ball in the jaws. You know, Larry's going to have to jack up and dig into the 3 ball to make the carom to the 5. But if you leave it too late, well, you'll find out soon enough because you'll be ending up going home. And the old eyes have gone with Misken as well. Didn't make the edge of the 1. Larry can have a similar shot here. Same shot, trying to get to the 5. He could be going to the 1 as well because it's quite a big target to the 1 off the back rail. Behind the 1. Oh, he's nowhere near the line though. Absolutely nowhere near the line. Right, now's the time to pot the 3. Now, if Misken's got any idea of surviving, he has to pot the 3. And he ain't doing it. He's trying to do it the hard way, and that's never going to work. I can tell you that right now. It's just not going to work. He had a perfect opportunity there to pot the 3. And I don't understand his thinking. I mean, he's already 5 behind, so he's already chasing Larry. Larry just needs to be patient. He doesn't need to work the 3 ball. He can be here all night, just picking them off gradually. The only way that Misken is going to get lucky here is if he gets lucky in the sense that these balls gather in a corner and he can tip-tap easy caroms, but the odds of that happening are not good either. Well, he's got 1. Can he keep it though? Well, he's 1 closer than he was 30 seconds ago. And we're now 2 hours and 21 minutes into this match, and it's now 1 hour and 20 minutes past my bedtime. Well, the 1 ball is still alive. Now you can cross bank the 5. If you miss the double kiss, you can do that. You can bank the 1 and try and spin down to the 5. I don't think he's got the legs though. He's not hit it. Misken try to go 2 rails into the back of the 1. That's too square. He ended up getting sort of drawn that. That was weird. Right. We'll see this shot from Larry, because I don't want to hang about too much at the end of this, whenever that might be. But let's have a quick reminder, that's not what I want. If we look at the bracket on the winner's side, we can see this match tonight with Misken and Larry. They already know who they're going to be playing. It's going to be Cobra for round 4. And the 3-ball has been potted. I would assume that Misken took the initiative to eventually pot it. Not having been in there, we don't know, but it might not have been the ideal time to do it, but you don't want to leave it too late, so he is taking a risk. And Larry might get second prize. Is it going to spin? Yes, it is. Oh, a little touch in the 3. And he's lined up very nice for the follow-up. It could be the beginning of the end. It could be.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Well, there's a good line here for a 2-way shot again off that 3-ball. And Larry's got to see that. I mean, that's the safe one as well. It's a safe one. If you go the thin, let me have a look. Can he get that line, or is it too thin? No, he can definitely play it. He can go up and down to the 5 to the 1. But he's gone a 3-railer. But to me, the other shot was a safe enough shot to get a 2-way shot. And look what he's done. He's set up the 1 and 5 here, but I don't know whether Misken can make any of it. Need to go to the higher DPI to get the mouse moving quicker. This is scratching every day
Where's
of the
the
week.
cue ball going?
Oh, he's lucky. Well, it's going to be a sensational finish here for Misken to take this match all the way, but as long as he gets the balls gathered like this, that's a possibility. Now he's got to send the 5 down the table here. It needs to keep running. It needs to keep running. It's not bad. It isn't bad. One good line he needs, though, because this is dodgy. He's in between either or, and he's got to trust his eyes. Well, he can draw to the 5. The run goes to 5. He's 2 behind. But if he starts banking balls to play the draw, anything can happen here. Got to keep an eye on this 3-ball. He's missed the carom. The 3-ball stays in the table, and the table's not exactly a gimme for Larry to get out here. So Misken is barely alive. He's still got a chance. He's kept his 5 points. I don't... Is it going to get a nick? Yeah. Excellent. Takes him to 99. Now what does he do? Does he play the big bump around the corner and stun into the 5 and hope the 1 stays in the table? Or does he go on edge of the 5 to the 1? Yes, edge of the 5, but he's missed it. Got it too thick. So last chance saloon for Misken. This is it. All or nothing. Well, now he's got to go the 3 railers here. But the problem with that is the 5 ball's cutting into the pocket. Let me have a look. Aye, that's no good. This table's horrible. And he's going for the old bailout draw, but he's not got the line and it's been bumped by the 1. And how's the table set? Well, this isn't easy either. But you can, as long as you miss the double kiss, you could go right side around the angles and try and get to the 5. I think that's what Larry's having a think about. Then again, maybe not. He's trying to spin to it from the side, but he's got it far too thick, and he's actually trying to set up Misken. I don't know what's went through Larry's head there, because that's completely backfired. But Misken can't get them. And again, he's got another possibility of a two-way shot here off this 1. He's got to play it. He's got to get the line to come down. If you don't get the 5, you might come around the back of the 5 and get the 3. Oh, and he's hit the double kiss. And he still might have got away with this. He still might get away with it. Table's ugly again. And Larry's trying to bump the 3 out and run the cue ball up to the 5 or the 1, I think, here. And again, I don't know. He just needs 1 good carom. And preferably not involving the 1 ball, because the 1 ball's in a reasonable enough spot where it is to try and work with to get out. Well, he tried to get the line up and down to the 5. And again, the table is not great, but there's another two-way shot here for Misken. He can go off that edge of the 3, go to the 5, and get up and around to the 1. He's trying it the other way. Well, he's got the edge. And he's back to square 1 because he got a similar shot off the 1. The problem now is that the line that the cue ball wants to take wants to be very close to that side pocket. And he's trying to play the 3 instead, and that's an excellent effort. Great shot. And what's even better about it, well, oh, now can he play the edge? What am I talking about? Is that Misken or Larry? No, it's Misken in the outshot. What am I talking about? Got to trust your eyes. He's trying to force follow, and he can go very thin edge and catch the far jaw, and it'll drop. He's trying to punch the 1 away and follow it through, but the other one's a very thin edge. Can he get it? Yes, he can. We're going all the way, folks. It's going to be a long night. It's 2 apiece. We are 2.5 hours into this match. Well past my bedtime, but we've got a decider, and I'm going to have a drink. Well, who wants it enough? That's the question to ask. Who wants it enough? So Larry gets first go. Did Misken miss the pot in the 3 ball again? Because I noticed he broke off in this rat. I never saw the break because I wasn't paying attention. But quite clearly, he missed the pot. And also missed any possible carom that he might have got, because Larry's in straight away. Misken types in the chat, hopefully no one is watching this. Well, yes, there is, and we've got it in tape, so there's no excuse. But Cowboy, you're never dead and buried. It can look really grim, and all it takes is one decent run. Your opponent can be first to the caroms 15, 20 minutes before you. But if he can't get the caroms, you can suddenly run him down. And there's always every possibility he can pick his pocket. But now's the time to get full focus and try and run up a decent big visit here, Larry. Try and scare Misken in this final rack. And of course, no sooner do I say that than Larry has been jinxed. His run ends in 19, he misses the carom. And now the shoe's in the other foot. Misken got a decent enough table to start with. And trying to redress the balance straight away. Well, Cowboy, I would rephrase that, Cobra. Cowboy is good to watch when it's two decent players playing it. It's not good to watch when it's a couple of bloody numpties playing it. I'll tell you something even better than that, or worse than that, depending how you look at it. What's worse is playing Cowboy doubles with a numpty when they don't see the bloody obvious thing that they should be doing because they're not thinking while they're playing. That's the most frustrating thing for me, because I'm sure I've got bruises in my forehead bouncing my head off the desk when the aforesaid numpty partner does something stupid. I mean, even more stupid than I would do. Because, I mean, I do daft things at times. I'd be the first to hold my hand up and say I do silly things, I take risks. I do it all the time. But I'm not as big a numpty as some of the numpties I've been lumbered with in recent weeks. That's all I'm saying. Well, Misken hasn't quite got rid of the deficit yet. He's not far from it. And I've jinxed him straight away because he's missed the carom in the 3. But you've got to admit, I've got some talent. I never thought I'd ever be good at anything, but there we go. I mean, there's my talent. I'd only have to utter a sentence. Sometimes I don't even have to finish a sentence. But the jinx kicks in straight away. And Larry's been done as well. The visit ends in 5. Oh, I don't need to give you names. They know who they are. Crosty knows who he is. Among others. Oh, I'm not going to say I'm innocent. I'm one of the numpties. I do stupid stuff. But I like doing stupid stuff. I like taking risks in cow, but that's part of my enjoyment. And there goes the cue ball. And there goes the points. So we've started the faffing early in this final rack here. Welcome to Dabs. But I'll be honest with you, I don't think Cobra's going to be breaking any sweat on regardless of who he plays next round. Cobra's just got to be his fairly good consistency, and it should see him through the next round. That's how it should go in a good day. But either of these players, regardless of who wins, they have to hit a higher level of consistency. Their contributions have to be heavier if they're going to apply pressure. It's the only way it'll work. They can't rely on getting stuff handed to them and getting loads of opportunities. The opportunities won't be as many in the next match that they're going to face. So they have to make that happen for themselves by their scoring contributions being higher. Because it's getting to the stage in the tournament where anything less than that just simply won't keep you in the winner's side for a start. And when you head over to the one-loss side, if you keep doing the same stuff, you're going to be sent home. It's going to hang up. So it's all short and sweet little contributions here. Nobody wants to take the initiative. Prize they might. Well, Larry's not got an excuse because it's certainly not late at night his time. It's middle of the afternoon his time. Whereas it's now 20 minutes to 10 British summertime. Has Larry got one significant contribution in him to actually take this match away from Misken? And I've jinxed him again. He's missed a carom to the 5. So it'll be a carom to start with for Misken. And the shoes on the other foot. Well, that's a terrible shot. I think Misken's going completely downhill. Probably the worst shot of the night there. He's missed a 1 ball fairly straight into the corner pocket. And he's immediately let Larry back in. So the signs of wear and tear are showing more on Misken than they are on Larry. But Larry's going to have to dig out a big cut in this 5 ball. Doesn't want this. He's no problem with the carom to follow up. He just needs to get the pot. And he's got to watch the cue ball as well. That was well done. Well, this is Larry's chance to put something together now and really ramp the pressure up Misken, because he's showing signs of flagging badly here. I think, well, you think about it, if Misken's got a job in the morning, he might be like me, where he wants to get to bed and the old brain's shutting down. It's perfectly feasible that's the case. I don't suppose he planned that the match was going to last this long. Well, that's now the 3 ball out the game. 5 ball's not healthy either, so Larry's big contribution maybe not going to be coming at this visit. Well, he's going to be giving this the old heave-ho. Trying to get a bump, taking a risk. Well, I think he'd spin this enough. He needs to get a lot of juice in this, I think, unless he's going to go 2 rails to try and get to the 3. No, he's trying to get to it. He's caught it. That was well played. And look at the 5. It's now blocked off behind the 1. Good pot in the 3. He should be lined up for the follow-up carom, though. And he's just beginning to pull away from Misken. And he's missed the 3. Would you believe it? Here we go again. He was all set up there to start rattling up the score. It might be at this late stage that the focus comes and goes. I mean, as a player or when you happen to be a spectator, when you're actually not at the table and your opponent's at the table, your mind maybe start to drift a wee bit. And suddenly you're faced with the table again. It's your turn. And you've got to switch on. It might be just the motivation that Misken needs to try and stay focused enough to try and put something together. Because really there's been very little in the way of contributions overall from both. But I think Larry's probably made the biggest contribution. Misken's biggest contribution went down the pan. I think we might have had a 50 run and that was about it. Something like that. Somebody might remember. But apart from that, the scoring has not been good enough from either player for their long-term survival in the tournament. Well, that just has got there onto that 1 ball. Set up nice for the 1-5. The 1 ball should be in play for a pot if required. Well, again, the most obvious shot here is stop the cue ball. He's running across the line, though, and he might have got the line. Yeah, he's just got it. I think he's just got it. He's going to try and kick the 5 from the rail. And, of course, he didn't get that. I think it was very tight, but the 3 balls caught the 5. So Misken keeps his points, 26 of them, but he's still trailing by 10. And Larry at the table. Now, you pot the 1 and stay over below the 1 and you've got the 1 to the 5. The 5's a huge target. But Larry decided he wanted to go for the 5. Now, where the cue ball is for that 5 ball is no good. He should have potted the 1 and stayed below. And he's let Misken straight back in. So to me, that was a wrong shot choice. A because he's missed the 5, and B because the cue ball was terrible. Well, the 5 ball stays in the table, which is good. If he can get it and play, he's got the 5-3. Well, you think it's going to go all the way to the last out shot, Cobra? Don't, for God's sake, don't tempt that. It's 9:45. I want to get to bed. Now, what's happened to Larry's? He lost his connection. He's still got 4 extensions. Oh, he's maybe Larry had a micro snooze there and didn't know it. Is that what you call them? A micro snooze or a micro nap? Where he's actually fallen asleep at the front of the PC. Uh-oh.
Where's the cue ball going?
Well, we all know where it's going.
Oh dear, outside, never mind.
Another disaster from Larry, and now Larry's only a point in front, and now Misken has the chance to get to the caroms. I keep saying this, now sooner or later one of these guys is going to produce the goods and do it. It's not a tall order to get to 90 from here. You've just got to hit that little level of consistency and score and keep them. The problem I've got is my head's going to be buzzing when I go to my bed. I just hope that my body clock gets into real shutdown mode very quickly as soon as my head hits the pillow. Well, Misken taking a risk again there, but he's that type of player, he's going to take that risk. Can he see enough of this 5 to pot it? Yes, he can. That needs to keep running. It needs to keep going. He's in no man's land a wee bit again. Going for the draw. 3 ball. Well, if it goes in, that'll be a bonus as well. He's got the 5 ball to play with. He's got the 1 ball to play with. Now, this could be ominous here for Larry, because you never know when you might have played your last shot. That is a distinct possibility in Cowboy. Just grazed the 5 and no more. But he's still good to go here. This could be the race to the finish line for Misken. Is he going to keep the points? Vital visit now, 88. What the hell's Blade getting into the room and then typing 88 into the room chat going to help? You're only going to bloody distract the players. Get your ass out of there. That's worse than Stubb. Well, Misken stuck on 89. The run is 31. And Larry 30 behind. And Misken didn't quite get there. So now it's been thrown back to Larry. All up to him now. Five ball now out of the game. And an immediate opportunity to get it back into play. That's landed pretty lucky. Well, he really doesn't want to take the 1 ball here. If he was higher up the table in the 3, that would have been the shot. Because the 1 ball's going to be big isolation from the other two, so the cue ball's going to have to travel. Yeah, this is the one he needs to stay at the table. The visit is only 7. So he needs to dig out a carom here. Or his odds are actually going to lengthen a fair bit if he doesn't get this carom. Because it'd be safe to say that Misken surely should be into the caroms if he gets back to the table. And Larry's dug it out. And how important was that carom right there? Because that's a big difference between winning and losing this match, actually staying at the table. And lo and behold, I've jinxed him again because he's missed the very next pot and the visit is only 8. And Misken staring down the barrel in the 1. And he's going to have the 1-3 to get him started. And this could be it. The beginning of the end. Two-way shot again. And the 1 ball needs to just slow up. And that's not bad again. That is workable. It is doable. Watch the 3 though. Oh, disaster. There you go. That's a quick way to make 3 caroms and lose them. And Larry back in. Yet another twist. So this is Larry's chance now where he has to get to the caroms. He cannot be failing to get to the caroms on this visit. I mean, he's only, what, 18 away or 17 away? And the balls are going to be reasonably good here. If he plays this carom from the 1 to the 5 and the 5 ball's good enough, he get it potted, get it onto its spot. Well, that won't do it. So he's going to have to crawl there with this 1 ball. And he hasn't got into that enough. I don't think he needed to be up the table another couple of inches. He can still do it, but you want to make it a wee bit easier on yourself. And now he can deal with the 5 ball. And he should be good for the follow-up as well. This is what you want. Get that 5 ball on its spot. Run over to the left. Use the 1 to the 5. Or you could go 5 to 3, just depending where you leave the cue ball. He might go 5 to 3. Well, he's went the 1 to the 5, so that now takes him to, what, 83. He can get the 5 ball back in its spot again. He can work the 3 to the 1. So he doesn't need, he can actually maybe check this cue ball up with a bit of right English here, just to hold the cue ball below the 3, but Larry sees it differently. Now, I think he's went too far. Yeah. I don't know what was wrong with just potting the 5, checking the cue ball and holding the cue ball below the 3. You were guaranteed a 3-1. Now he's giving himself more work to do. I just still think he chose the wrong pot, the wrong shot there. The 5 ball was by far the easiest to check the cue ball and hold it. Just drop it in dead weight. But he's now an 87, and the good thing is he's kept the 3 alive. That gets him to the 90. And now the hard work starts. Is there anything left for Misken to do here? if he gets back to the table. He needs one to get to the caroms. Larry's got there first, so he's now the favourite. Oh, the one ball's married with a cue ball. It's got the legs. I don't think it's got the legs. And where's the one ball going? Well, he's going to be hampered over this 3, but he can play the 3 to the 5 carom to get him started. He doesn't have to pot the 1. The 3 to the 5 looks easy enough. He's got to get the spin working. Oh, he's went inside. He's went inside. Would you believe it? If you think he couldn't do that, he's went too tight around the corner. Well, that could be a bad miss. At definitely the wrong time. And Larry's done the same. Well, here you go again, Misken. You've got another go at getting this right. 3 ball to the 5. I think is he prepared to have a go at it this time and get it right this time? Yes, he is. And this time he's got it. So he's now into the carom phase. Now, can he bank the 3 though? And get the legs in the cue ball? Just 3 ball stays away from the pocket. Oh, this is dangerous. This has got scratch written all over it. If he's going to that 5. He's got, and again, this is risky also because you're messing with that right side pocket going right side of the 3.
Where's the cue ball going?
Commentator's eye. Never ever doubt me. Never doubt me when I tell you. He took the risk, and you're always taking the risk doing that. It's a 2-way shot going for the 5 and then maybe hitting the 1 if you miss the 5. But if you don't do either, the only other protocol is that right side pocket. And I think Larry's missed it as well. Has he caught that 3? No, he hasn't. Well, Misken back to square one. He's got a testy cut in the 1 to get him to 90. And he's got an even testier carom to try and manufacture here. Well, he can play this, he can stun the 5. You've got to try and miss the double hit, though, if he's going to try and spin across to the 3. Yeah, but he's going another route here. Where's he going? Is he going up and down to the 5 off the 1? Trying to overcut the 1? No, he's trying to play the draw. Well, the one thing he can be thankful of, he hasn't set Larry anything up. Because this could have got ugly very quickly. Well, we've now been playing exactly 3 hours in this round. What the hell is it? What did I say? It's a round 3 match, isn't it? Has he caught it? Yes, he has. Well, Larry can go up and down again. He can overcut the 5, go up and down to the 1. He can go right side of the 1, long rail and over to the 3. That angle looks good enough to get there. Just how much of the 1 ball he needs to take. And now he's got a very risky shot as well, similar to what Misken had, going from 3 to the 1. If he's looking at that. Yeah. I mean, he could miss the 1, try to hit the back of it. Very well done. Safest route was to get to the rail first. That takes him to 94. Oh, this could have finished worse. 3 balls out the game where it is, but as long as these balls stay under some level of control, he'll be quite happy to leave it at that. Well, he's going to go short rail into the back. And that isn't bad. Now, again, ideally, he wants a half ball hit in this 3. Got to go 5 to the 3, but half ball onto that 3 if he can and bring it up the table away from that rail. No, he's totally misjudged that. That's a bad one from Larry. He was nowhere near it. I think the eyes have gone. Well, Misken trailing by 6. Yeah, you're right enough, Cobra. Because here's Misken back at the table. Watch the cue ball. Cue ball stays on. Well, it's a tall order for Misken. And again, another dangerous shot he's got here. Well, the safe route would be to go either side of the 1 and choose the 3 or the 5. It's probably the less likely anything happening. He hasn't got the line, but what he has done is he might have set Larry up here. Or he might be getting away with it. Let's have a look. Well, I think he's getting away with it. Because Larry's going to have to bump this into the rail pretty firm if he's going to try and make the 1 from this side. Yep, and he's got it. 5 ball stays out the pocket. 1 ball to the 3, but again, you're getting distance between everything. So everything's going to be hard work to get these vital caroms here. Nothing's going to marry up. But like I said, Larry doesn't need to worry about that. He just needs to get enough points here and leave a horrible table for Misken, because he's going to have all the work to do if he gets another bite at it. And there's a chance of a little 2-3 railer here into the back of the 1. Looks good. Dead on. Perfect. Takes him to 99. And a force follow on the 1 to the 5. And this could be definitely this time.
Hasta la vista, baby.
1 ball needs to stay alive, but where's the 1 ball going? Unbelievable. You could not write the script. Larry just needs the 1 to stay alive near the pocket, and he's home and dry. How close are you going to come to winning this match, Larry? Now, that might be a nightmare to try and recover from what's just happened there. Misken needs something to happen here, though. And it ain't going to. So Larry gets another go at trying to get out. Of course, he's lost all his points. So it's back to, well, back to 96. I was going to say back to square 1, but not quite. Well, you could play the big blast to bank the 3 up the table and stun into the 5, but that's, you just don't know where anything's going to finish anyway, but Larry doesn't fancy that. I think Larry's trying his best not to, miss something and set something up for Misken for an easy starter. He might have just have done that, though. He might just have done it. Now, Misken needs 1 good shot here where he can get a couple of these balls in shape, but that ain't going to do it. That wasn't even threatening anything, that ball. Force follows on to the 5. 1 ball coming down right side. It might be dangerously close to the bank. But Larry's sent the cue ball through.
Where's the cue ball going?
Misken's got ball in hand. He's got an easy starter. It's going to be one of these endings, folks. We've got no idea who wants to win this. Free ball over towards the 5. That's the plan. But how hampered is he going to be to get there? How hampered is he? Fairly hampered. He's got to jack up to get a stun into this to hit the 5. What the hell's he looking at here? Why is he not just jacking up and bumping the 3 and taking the risk? You got at this stage of the match, you've got to take the risk and just slam it, just to get a carom. What the rest you leave it up to the balls. You take that risk. You've got to give it a slam to get the hit, and because you never know, you might get lucky like this. Look at this for the setup. Wow, there you go. He's took a risk. And look at the way these balls have shaped up. Well, if he hits the one ball full in the face, he's got a good chance here. And that's still workable. Now, if he hits the back end of the 5, you see he's hit it full in the face. If he'd hit it in the back end, when I say the back end, this end near that jaw, you're a bit finished up there and had another one lined up. Now he's got to work something. Oh, he doesn't want to set it up for Larry, though. And the run ends in 5. He's 2 behind. And he's set up an easy start for Larry. And Larry can, let me have a look. Well, Larry can go thin edge of the 1. He can go 3 to the 1, but he can go 1 to the 5 also. So he's got 2 choices. Takes him to 98. And he's missed the 1. And look at the setup here for Misken. He's got the 1. I mean, you're never going to miss this 5. I mean, this just needs a lot of juice in the spin and you'll get there. But how's he going to be set up, though? Takes him to 97. Well, he's going to have to run this, I think. He can go very thin off that 1, and he has to get to the short rail, because if he doesn't, he's going to scratch doing that. He looks as if he's taking a big risk. 3 rails around to the 5. That's going narrow. That's going way narrow, and he's scratched. Terrible line. Well, Larry, does he take the risk of going anywhere near that 5 ball? Larry on 98. He's trying to go around the corner. Is he trying to go 1 rail into the side of the 1, or is he trying to go around the 2 corners? Well, I mean, that's ball in hand, that there, folks. That was terrible that he couldn't pick a line there to get 2 rails into the back of the 1. And Misken didn't get enough into the cue ball. And he'll be thankful that 1 ball has just travelled a wee bit further. Now, Larry can try stunning this, taking a risk and spinning to the short rail and coming into the back of the 5. He's got to be accurate, though. He's trying to go to the 3, though, instead. I didn't know that he had the line to do that, but apparently he did. So 1 more good carom, and this 1 ball is going to be in the table somewhere. He just needs to brush. He's hitting this thick and going force forward, but why isn't he going thin? Well, it might still be good, though. Yeah. Well, there you go, Larry. You're all set up for the outshot, and he's a big stun into the side pocket. And this for the match. And a 4th round tie with Cobra. And in it goes. So Larry, after 3 hours and 10 minutes, or 11 minutes, has fallen over the line by 3 racks to 2. And anybody could have won that final one, but the last mistake was made by Misken, and it cost him. But Larry's going to have to up his game. You're going to have to get better as you go through the tournament. You really hope that, and Larry has to hope that, because the level he was at tonight is not going to be good enough against Cobra. He should be making bigger contributions. Talking of contributions, I'm going to contribute to my sleeping hours, as few as they are. Thanks for watching, folks. I will see you next time. There's a match on tomorrow. Cold as Pillows playing somebody at some time. I don't know when. I couldn't care less, but I'll be there for it. And I will bid you good night, and we'll see you later, folks.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.